In the last section, we had covered topics like workload designing, script validation, baseline test, master-slave configuration, and GUI non-GUI mode testing. Today we will start with section 5, execution and reporting. In this section, we will be covering 4 topics, and those are Topic 1, test execution in GUI mode, Topic 2, monitoring tests, Topic 3, test results collation, and Topic 4, test results analysis. Let us start with Topic 1, test execution in GUI mode. We have seen how to validate a script and do a sanity test of that script. Also, we had learned the process of baseline test. Once the script validation and baseline tests are completed, we are good to go ahead with the test execution. Today let us understand the various types of test executions which can be done in JMeter. Number 1. Load test for a specific duration. This is the most common type of a test execution. Here we are well aware of the duration for which the test has to be running. So assuming we have to run a load test for 30 minutes peak load with concurrency as 100 users, I will show you the workload designing for this test configuration. This is our JMeter script, and the think time here has been set as 10 seconds for all the requests. I go to the thread group. The first option would be start next thread loop on action to be taken after sampler error. The number of threads would be 100. The ramp up time would be 200 seconds, considering each user will enter the system every 2 seconds. The loop count option would be forever, since we have to do the test for a duration of 30 minutes. I would check the checkbox here, which is scheduler, and the duration field would be, I would enter the duration for which my test should be running. As you remember, the peak load duration is 30 minutes, which means 1800 seconds. But I have to also consider this ramp up time, which is 200 seconds. So when I add 200 to 1800, it would be 2000. So my test will run for 30 minutes peak load plus ramp up period 200. That entire duration would be 2000 seconds. I need not enter the start time and end time values because the duration field will override all of them. The next type of testing is load test scheduling. At times it happens that you have to execute a load test and you might not be available during that time. So you can schedule a test in JMeter and leave it. For that purpose, you don't need to enter the duration here. You just have to enter the absolute time of here, which is start time and end time. For example, you want to start the test at 8 PM. You can just enter 20:00 and the corresponding date here. Also, the end time would be the end time when you want to stop the test. The next test is called as bandwidth test. After all planned load tests have been completed and the results are looking good, it is always good to perform bandwidth tests at different links. So this way we can understand the behavior of the application at various speeds. This can be done by doing some changes in the properties file of JMeter. JMeter sends requests defined by its samplers as fast as it can by default. To run a test on different internet speeds, the 2 properties which can be used are as below. http client.socket.http.cps equal to 0 and https.cps equal to 0. These are for HTTP and HTTPS protocols respectively. The properties default to 0, which means there are no limitations. The acronym CPS stands for characters per second. The formula for calculating CPS is CPS equal to target bandwidth in kilobits per second multiplied by 1024 and divided by 8. For example, to emulate the speed of 512 kilobits per second, the relevant CPS value would be 65536, which is 512 into 1024 divided by 8, which is nothing but the required speed in megabytes per second. So to perform a bandwidth test at 512 kilobits per second, add the following 2 lines in the user.properties file, which is in the bin directory of JMeter. As you look here, the 2 parameters have been assigned the values 65536, which is the speed required. You just have to restart JMeter after making this change in the properties file and you can directly run the test. It will run at a speed of 512 kbps. In addition to this, you can perform stress test, endurance test, spike test, etc. using JMeter.